Recently, Jim Harbaugh spoke at the NFL meetings, and his comments sparked a lot of discussion about the Chargers' plans. From draft strategy to potential lineup changes, he provided plenty of insight into what we can expect from the team moving forward. There's a lot to unpack, so let's dive right into it. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Before I start, I have a question for you. Who is your all-time favorite Chargers coach? Do not just name him, give me a strong reason. Okay, so one of the most interesting parts of Harbaugh's media session was the range of questions he fielded. There were some pretty unexpected ones, like inquiries about J.J. McCarthy, possibly from teams like the Vikings trying to gather insights about him. There was also a question about Andrew Luck, given his new role as Stanford's general manager, which felt a bit out of left field. But among the more unusual topics, Harbaugh provided some meaningful insight into the Chargers' plans for the draft and their roster. Regarding the draft, Harbaugh made it clear that he wasn't going to reveal any secrets about specific targets in the first round, which is expected. However, he emphasized that the team is excited about their 10 draft picks and is eager to bring in true competitors who want to be part of the Chargers' culture. While the number of picks could fluctuate due to potential trades, given the surplus of sixth-round selections, Harbaugh's enthusiasm for adding fresh talent was unmistakable. The anticipation is building, and with the draft just weeks away, fans are eager to see how the team approaches their selection. One of the most significant discussions revolved around the offensive line. Harbaugh hinted at the possibility of Trey Pipkins moving from right tackle to left guard, a transition that could shake up the lineup. This potential shift raises questions about where Zion Johnson fits into the picture. With Bradley Bozeman and Andre James in the mix at center, there's speculation that Johnson could take on that role. Harbaugh seemed to suggest that Zion might be the team's starting center, which would be a notable change. Meanwhile, Mekhi Becton appears locked in at right guard, with Rashawn Slater at left tackle and Joe Alt as the right tackle. With so much depth at center, it's clear the coaching staff values competition and versatility. Training camp battles will be crucial in determining how the pieces fit together, making the offensive line one of the biggest storylines to watch this offseason. And if we speak about the Hendrickson's contract, he has 1 year remaining on his deal, and the Bengals just reached new deals with wide receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So it hinted that they might not be interested in offering an extension or big money to Hendrickson. So this frustration might just open the door to a new opportunity for the Los Angeles Chargers. We have discussed earlier that they need Bosa replacement. Also, Mac's future is uncertain, so Hendrickson can be a best fit for the Chargers. There's been league-wide interest in Hendrickson, but the challenge for any team is the price, both in draft picks and a possible new deal worth over $30 million per year. Not every front office has the cap space or flexibility to make that work. Still, with his past success under coaches now in new spots, like Lou Anarumo in Indianapolis, it's no surprise other teams are watching how this unfolds in Cincinnati. But the Chargers have the cap space and draft capital to make this happen. Hendrickson's contract would take up around $16 million of their remaining cap, but an extension could spread that number out. They're in position to do this if they want to. Now let's be clear, this isn't just a player in decline looking for a new deal. Hendrickson is coming off his best season yet. In 2024, he led the NFL with 17.5 sacks. He had multiple games with 3 or more sacks, including a 4-sack game against the Raiders and 3.5 sacks in the regular season finale against the Steelers. He's also strong against the run and brings leadership and intensity to the locker room. He's now a 4-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro, and the 2024 winner of the Deacon Jones Award for leading the league in sacks. That's not just consistent, that's elite. And at 30 years old, he still has plenty of good football left. So what would it take for the Chargers to land Hendrickson? It's hard to say exactly. Logically, you'd think a player of his caliber would require a first-round pick, but NFL trades don't always follow logic. Some are completely lopsided. If the Bengals decide they don't want to deal with the situation and want to move on, they could settle for a second-rounder. If the Chargers can get Hendrickson without giving up their top pick, that would be a huge win. Adding Hendrickson would change the dynamic of the Chargers' defense. It would free up Khalil Mack to move around more. It would give the team more flexibility on passing downs, and it would create matchup nightmares for opposing offensive lines. More importantly, it would send a message that this team is serious about. Meanwhile, Mekhi Becton appears locked in at right guard, with Rashawn Slater at left tackle and Joe Alt as the right tackle. Speaking of Mekhi Becton, Harbaugh had high praise for him, particularly in run blocking.